Yesterday, before Game 2 against the Oklahoma City Thunder, we reported here that there's been some very weird sneak dissing going on in the NBA media regarding Luka Doncic and whether or not his teammates actually like him and how they feel about him when he comes off the court and they're on the court. They can finally play basketball. And I was getting a lot of comments under that video about just, yeah, Luka Doncic is a ball hog. We don't like the way he plays. It was just crazy. I was even getting text messages and DMs about it. But we finally found the culprit who's behind all of this bull crap, and it was none other than Tim Hardaway Sr., Luka's #1 hater. And we're going to break down what else he had to say today because right now it's obvious that the way he feels about Luka Doncic and the way he feels about his own son is just outrageous. He's literally preying on the downfall of the Dallas Mavericks by attacking Luka and just slandering his name throughout the media. But we're going to break all that down in this video. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And if we could get this video up to 300 likes, that'd be awesome. I won't shave my beard. However, I do need to trim. It's getting kind of long and crazy. But let's get into this video because it just doesn't make sense to me how someone like Tim Hardaway Sr., who once played for the Mavericks, finds the need to attack one of our star players, Luka Doncic, and this isn't the first time that he's done it, but to say that the teammates are just happy that he's not on the court so they can go out and play basketball, and I've played devil's advocate all the time. I understand that there may be some truth behind this, that yes, sometimes when Luka's on the floor, he does a lot of ISO plays. He may try to do it all himself, some hero ball, but other than those few instances of when it happens, I don't think that's the overwhelming sentiment from the team that they're just happy that Luka's off the court so they can finally play basketball. I'm not a betting man, but if I'm going to bet, I'd bet that they're happy to play on the court with Luka because he gets them going. He assists a whole lot more than most other stars in this league. I mean, he averaged about 10 assists a game for the whole season, and he had, like 11 last night? Luka Doncic is a guy that the players like to play with, and this weird notion that they don't like playing with them is weird, especially when we're winning games. It just doesn't make sense. But check this out, guys. Tim Hardaway Sr. had this to say today. When Luka's not playing, the ball moves better. And this is a talking point that's been just talked to death, especially from Tim Hardaway Sr., and I get it. Luka does a lot of isolation plays. A lot of people have been saying how Luka is kind of like James Harden, and I get that. Luka Doncic is a scorer. He's going to score the ball, but he's also going to facilitate. He's going to get guys good looks. He's going to attack the basket, get it to the open man. All you have to do is just knock down the open shot. That's all you have to do. The Dallas Mavericks are really good at setting up players with open looks. I mean, we saw last night, Josh Green was hitting his threes. We saw how PJ Washington, who was breaking records, we'll get into that later in this video, hit 7 threes last night. Kyrie Irving, who didn't have a big scoring night last night, was also contributing. He had about 11 assists. I think Luka only had like 9, but I know Kyrie had 11 assists. Not a whole, he only had a few points, but he was passing the ball around. This whole notion that Luka Doncic is a bad teammate and that he doesn't make his teammates better is just foolishness, and you don't have to take it from me. His own teammates are coming to his defense, and they're just speaking it out loud. They're not hiding behind the cameras or the media. They're letting it be known that all of that is just straight up cap. And the first one that we're going to look at right here is from PJ Washington himself after last night's game, after his humongous monumental game, saying, PJ Washington on Luka Doncic saying he shows it all, the type of leader he is, every night. He gives it his all. He's one of the best players to play the game right now, and I'm just glad to be on his team. He's special, and he makes special plays each and every night. I mean, come on. PJ had an amazing night last night. I mean, this was his first playoff run. This year is PJ's first time in the playoffs, and he had a really good defensive first round against the Clippers. I mean, he was just locking down James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, who you name it, Kawhi Leonard in those 2 games. For first round, PJ was just a defensive monster. But the second round, so far, PJ is just that offensive threat that we've been looking for, that third scoring option, that reliable scorer. We know that corner 3 wasn't looking pretty after we got him in the trade, but it came alive last night. He was breaking records alongside Luka Doncic. Obviously, the man enjoys playing alongside Luka, so I don't know what these people are talking about, even some of the fans. And if you're a fan and you're talking crap about Luka, about him not sharing the ball and him just being selfish, shame on you. Because I don't know if we're watching the same team. I don't know if we're watching the same games. Because all I see is a player who's fighting through injury, who's fighting to save the season alongside his teammates. And yes, he may not have the most efficient games, but he's doing everything that he can to help his team win. He doesn't care about the individual accolades. Like, yeah, we all think he should have been MVP. But he didn't sulk about it like someone I know, Joel Embiid. But Luka's out there trying through injury. We see the bloody knees. We see him falling down constantly where Lou Dort is attacking him on every play. Luka is a fighter, and he cares about this team, and he cares about winning basketball. He doesn't care about taking the most shots, but he knows that as the team's best player, he's got to take those shots. He's got to get things going. And last night, he was knocking down threes. Had 16 points in the first quarter. I don't know what more needs to be said about Luka Doncic, but I don't see a bad teammate, someone who's able to get his guys open, good open looks, someone who's going to also facilitate the offense and get things going so other people can follow behind him. I don't know how that's a bad teammate, and I just don't get it. But this also continues. Right here, the man Markieff Morris. He tweeted this yesterday, I want to say a little bit before the game, after I dropped the video, just commenting under the tweet where anonymous veteran assistant coach says you can almost sense a sigh of relief among Luka Doncic's teammates when he checks out of a game. Markieff Morris said, "Cap, we're trying to win a chip. Go ahead with this foolishness. Hashtag Pravi MVP." And I mean, Markieff Morris, and if you can say Markieff Morris is a nobody, he doesn't even play. And if you think like that, please, you don't know basketball. Because it's been reported many times that Markieff Morris is a key player in the locker room that Luka and Kyrie both look up to. He's that veteran in the locker room that he may not play. I know a lot of people want him to play. I like to see some minutes from Markieff now that we don't have Maxi Kleber. Markieff may have to come in maybe games 3 or 4, maybe in short spurts. We haven't seen him yet. But that doesn't matter if he's on the court or not because his presence is felt in the locker room. It's felt on the bench. The players respect him. And Markieff Morris, whose brother had beef with Luka, real beef, not too long ago, is like, nah, that's not true. Luka's our guy. We're trying to win a championship. We're not worried about all that outside noise. These guys are locked in. So, again, shame on you, Tim Hardaway Sr., for you trying to just sow the seeds of discontent amongst the Mavericks. Is just crazy to me, especially when your son, who finally had a great game yesterday, is trying to find his rhythm, trying to help the team win, and because of you, he looks a little bit foolish, but that's just how I feel. But the quotes continue. Kyrie Irving on the interaction between the OKC fans and Luka Doncic. He said, Luka was very nonchalant about it. Like, he was very cool about it. And for a fan to do that, then that's my time to step in as a teammate and be like, man, what the F? Kai stepping up for his little bro. And that tweet was in reference to game 1. There was an incident on the sidelines where the ball went out of bounds, and a fan caught it, and Luka was like, hey, yeah, give me the ball. The fan stands up and throws the ball at the ref. The ref wasn't even looking. He just threw it at the ref, and Luka was like, dude, really? And then the moment the ref turned around, tried to defuse the situation, Kyrie came up right behind Luka like, nah, man, what are you trying to do? The guy tried to stand up being all tough, but Kyrie was not backing down. And in game 2, we all saw towards the end, he was talking all the smack to that fan on the sidelines. Let him know, yeah, you want to come at my guy? Does that sound like a player not worth defending? I mean, you got PJ Washington singing his praises. You got Markieff Morris saying it's all cap that we don't like Luka and that we're glad when he's off the court. You got Kyrie willing to potentially get a technical foul, arguing and just throwing profanities at a fan on the sidelines in defense of Luka Doncic. This team doesn't care about the individual. They care about the team's success. And that right there, hardcore proof that Kyrie Irving, a leader on this team, a superstar on this team, he knows. I mean, we saw in not game 1, but in the first round of the playoffs, when Luka was having a tough stretch, he said himself, I feel like I'm letting Kai down. The relationship, the bonds that these guys have are true and they're genuine. And for anybody, again, Tim Hardaway Sr., for anybody to think that it's all fake and that they actually don't like Luka is just very weird to me. And again, if you're a fan, if you claim to be a fan of the Dallas Mavericks and you truly believe that Luka is a problem on this team and that he's the reason why guys leave and that they play better when they leave, you're wild. You're wild, you're wrong, and I'm going to let you be wrong in the comments section because I saw them all yesterday and it just didn't make any sense to me, man. But the comments and the quotes don't stop right there. Luka Doncic and PJ Washington make Mavericks history, becoming the first duo in NBA history to each have 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 3-point field goals made in the same playoff game. You got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. You got Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You got Kyrie and LeBron James. You got Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. You have so many amazing offensive duos throughout the history of basketball. I know I'm probably forgetting many, many more. But last night was the first time we had a duo put up those type of numbers. And if a team didn't like playing alongside Luka, if a team liked it better when Luka was off the court, do you really think that would have happened? But the records don't just stop there. The records continue to be broken. Because this right here, Luka Doncic scored or assisted on 24 of Mavericks' 36 points in the first quarter of Game 2. I don't understand this commentary. I just don't. Kevin Gray, I also don't understand it. I don't get it. If Luka only cares about himself and doesn't care about getting the team involved, yeah, why would I ever pass the ball? I'd be like Trae Young, where, yeah, I have a lot of assists, but I'm also taking 30 shots a game, and you can make the argument, yes, Luka has a high usage rate, and I get that. It's not the highest in the league, but it is pretty high. But when you're the number one option on a team, when you're the best player on your team, yes, I want the ball in his hands. We understand he's not 100%. You'd argue he's maybe 60, maybe 70% of the way, healthy to his normal self. Regardless, do you want Luka to take a rest? A lot of people were saying, oh yeah, Luka should take a rest. He shouldn't play game 2. Are you serious? Without Luka, I don't think we would have won last night. Kyrie only had a few points. I mean, PJ had a great game, but, come on. Without Luka's contribution last night, we don't win that game. And I think it's very weird that, again, Tim Hardaway Sr., I think it's very weird that he always has something to say about Luka Doncic, just putting down him by proxy, putting down the team, and making his son look foolish. Again, Tim Hardaway Jr. had a great game last night. I'm hoping this is the return of the Tim, because when Tim shoots well, when PJ shoots well, we're a hard team to beat. But let's just put the rest that all this Luka Doncic is a bad teammate. Let's put to rest that he doesn't get the team involved and the team doesn't like him when he's on the court. We are locked in on the playoffs. We're not worried about the outside noise. And if you're a real fan, you will rally behind this team, each and every individual. And that includes Tim Hardaway Jr. Because I know how y'all feel about Tim Hardaway Jr. But when he has a great night, you love him. And even though I see the comments, a lot of people think he won't keep it up. And that's fine. If he has a bad game 3, he has a bad game 3. All I care about is that he had a great game 2 that helped us win that game. So again, if you're a real fan of the Dallas Mavericks, you're going to be happy for everyone on this team, not just a select few. But that's all I got for you guys today. Make sure you check out our Twitter, Discord, links in the description below. Make sure you check out our channel membership. We're doing another free jersey giveaway. If you want to enter that giveaway, all you got to do is become a channel member. But until next time, y'all take care. We will be going live tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Those early games really hurt us. But we'll be going live for that game. You best believe we will be, so make sure you're there. Until then, y'all take care. Peace.